It was a different night of protesting.
All of it after demonstrators approached one of the city's police precincts.
You can see the smoke bombs in the distance, and police have been firing pepper spray to try and disperse this crowd. Hundreds of protesters had gathered here, and now police are trying to push them back to keep the
Officers furious at the death of 46-year-old. The outrage building nationwide. In Los Angeles overnight, Black Lives Matter protesters blocked a major freeway. This man jumped on a police cruiser as it sped away. And that he's asking the FBI to expedite its investigation into the case.
A very sad event. A very, very sad event.
Leaving an auto parts store in flames.
With a fatal gunshot wound. He was later pronounced dead. Police are now investigating that. They're looking into whether a pawn shop owner may have fired a shot and perhaps killed the man, but again,
County attorney to charge the arresting officer.
Why is the man who killed George Floyd not in jail?
That officer, Derek Chauvin, is seen in this now viral video kneeling on Floyd's neck.
Court is expected in less than 3 weeks. As you mentioned, the mayor, though, is taking that rare step on calling for that arresting officer to be charged. It's up to the county attorney, and right now he's given no timetable on this. What people are asking for as well is perhaps a medical examiner's scene.
And Gabe, a lot of people are also wondering what's taking so long for any charges to be brought forward, including the mayor who you interviewed. So is there a timeline for when that may happen?
Well, certainly, Hoda, that is adding to the questions at this point, Hoda.
Yeah, seems like we've seen that incident from
through your head. That could have been me.
The police department initially said Floyd had been physically resisting. This new cell phone video appears to show the moment he steps out of his vehicle. 2 officers restrain him. Security footage from a nearby business shows officers walking him across the street in handcuffs. He's been praised for valor during his career, but was also the subject of a dozen police misconduct complaints that resulted in no disciplinary action. His attorney declined to comment. This man allegedly tried to use a fake $20 bill, but that he didn't deserve this.
My employee called me while the officer had his knee on his neck, and she was crying, telling me, Mike, what should I do?
Again, authorities here this morning are still assessing the damage. No telling how many protests are expected later today, but adding to the anger here is a new report from the fire department that reveals that when paramedics arrived on the scene, certainly adding to the questions here.
Yeah, absolutely. Gabe, you also mentioned at the top of the piece that there was a fatal shooting overnight in the middle of all those protests. What do you know about that?
Police cruiser as it sped away. President Trump weighed in, saying justice will be served and that he's asking the FBI to expedite its investigation into the case.
A very sad event. A very, very sad event.
Now, county attorney to charge the arresting officer.
Why is the man who killed George Floyd?
That officer, Derek Chauvin, is seen in this now viral video kneeling on Floyd's neck as he begs for help.
When you saw that video, what went through your head? That could have been
physically resisting. This new cell phone video appears to show the moment he steps out of his vehicle. 2 officers restrain him.
Good morning, Robin. You can see behind me here where the incident occurred. Those black balloons, part of a growing memorial for Floyd. Those protests stretched late into the night and turned violent.
Protesters hurling rocks and bottles at officers.
Yes, sir. We don't have enough cops.
They are taking projectiles and getting injured.
The protest began as a peaceful demonstration.
Moving the crowd.
Overnight, hundreds of demonstrators taking to the streets demanding justice for George Floyd, who died in police custody on Monday. Officers firing tear. Floyd appears to lose consciousness.
He's not even resisting arrest right now, bro.
His nose is bleeding.
7 minutes into the video, EMTs arrive, checking his pulse. The officer's knee still pinning.
All I had to do was just take his foot off his neck and it would have never happened.
By Tuesday morning, the 4 officers involved in the arrest fired. The mayor of Minneapolis is speaking out.
Being black in America should not be a death sentence. This officer failed in the most basic
According to the Minneapolis Police Department, officers were initially called to the scene Monday on a report of a forgery in progress. The suspect appeared to be under the influence. Police say they encountered Floyd in his car, and a physically 10-minute-long video was recorded during Floyd's arrest and some of the final moments of his life.
Please, I can't breathe.
Floyd on the ground, handcuffed, begging for air as a white police officer digs his knee into Floyd's neck.
Protesters clashing with officers in the streets over the death of a black man in police custody. George Floyd's sister is going to join us live in just a few moments. But first, Alex.
About their beliefs here, this is billed as a Black Lives Matter protest. You can see the police lined up here on this side, and just to in front of them, this is the line of protesters back here. Several dozen people so far, at least 6 arrests in shot just a short while ago. This, of course, all in response to the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. There has been unrest in that city over the last day or so, and now
Floyd. According to police, Floyd was taken to the
their protests over that horrific tape that the world has seen now. We spoke with one woman here at the protest just a short while ago.
We are people. Let's just start seeing no change. My heart hurts. My soul hurts because I be seeing my people die on video. That hurts. I don't think y'all understand how much that hurts. Okay, I've been going to these protests since I was 14. I'm 20 years happening, and I try. We all be trying. At the end of the day, you're either with us or you're not.
Over here. And now we are back here, and just in the time it took for you to hear that soundbite, there has been some just a few seconds ago. You can see there is a melee going on right now. This is not violence. There is not violence here. Police are arresting people. There had already been 6 arrests here. It looks like there are going to be a whole lot more. We'll come back and tell you what's going on.
Where we are told there have been 5 people arrested. Eyewitness News reporter Jim Dolan just arrived at the scene. He's got the latest. Jim?
Yesterday, this is Union Square. This is not an enormous